make it easier to bridge the gap between an employer and an employee.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Fanolo. And I think moving forward faster, I'm going to move on to our last panelist, Mrs. Hadebe. Mama Dimi Hadebe, I actually hijacked her. I met her at the studio and she was doing beautiful stuff that are actually concerning the subject for today. And I said, please, can we have you? And because she's just a beautiful woman, and because the woman's smart, that's how good we are. She said, Eva, why not? So Mama, please, the platform is yours. Please introduce yourself to our people.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, Eva. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ndumi Hadebe. I'm a self-leadership and work readiness coach. And I'm also employed by my own company called Gwande Consulting. We do human resources consulting or human resources support services. But my primary focus is this coaching, specifically on the self-leadership and work readiness areas. And the reason why I focus on that is because as someone who's recruited in the past and someone who's been in the supply chain of business, I have seen so many people that miss out on job opportunities, not because of anything other than their CVs are not a document that actually markets them. They are just a whole lot of words on white paper, but do not express the essence or the uniqueness of the individual concerned. And this is why then I felt that one of these, this gap basically needs to be addressed, because people do need to learn the skills of, well, self-leadership start first of all, and also things like personal development. Also, like as we heard earlier today during the recordings, we were talking about things like how to write a winning CV, a CV that basically says, pick me, at least be interested in me enough to invite me into the room. And starting, of course, with encouraging people to get to know who they are, because you cannot market what you don't know. It's just, it's impossible. And people need to see themselves as a brand and as a product, which they must translate into CV. And then, of course, which then they market their skill and their expertise to corporates. That is basically in a nutshell what I do.
Thank you so much, Mama Ndumi. That is so wonderful, because you know what I heard as you were presenting your training in the studio, I said, this is what our young people especially need, because I know some of our adults, you know, they might be acquainted and informed with regards to the work skills and blah, blah, blah. But I know we still need this every day. There's nothing like you know everything, hey? We learn every day. So ladies and gents, just to kickstart this whole thing, I just want to welcome everybody who just joined in. We are having a lot of people joining in. I'm telling you, I'm juggling between the three things now. It's the WhatsApp, Facebook, and also welcoming people at the same time. So don't mind me when my eyes are not focusing or on camera. Just know that I'm also taking care of other people. But then I just want to give sort of like a background on how the program is going to run. Firstly, we want to engage with the panelists, because I think it's very important to lay a foundation on some of the questions we're going to ask later on, so that we are not seem to be lost in our conversation. So I'm going to be asking them a couple of questions, you know, individually, just so that they give us a background, so that whoever is listening on Facebook, whoever is listening on the platform, they are able to sort of like restructure their question nicely as they ask them, okay? And then secondly, on the second hour, I will then open the platform. But before I open the platform, I'm going to allow them, because I know Mama Ndumi, she's not going to be with us for a very long time. Some of you guys have locked in because you're looking for jobs. Some of you, you are looking for free academic education. So that's what we are here for. I'm then going to allow our panelists to share with us the opportunities that they've brought for us today, because that's the main thing. And then we can ask questions later. Please, 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 don't ever think of leaving the platform before you hear what is available. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight as well, Mr. Honolo, he inspired me to actually come up with this show as Good TV and the team every week, because we realize that it is so important. A lot is happening. Our people are unemployed. companies are retrenching people, and mainly because they are financially suffocating as well. So we do understand that, but that doesn't mean there are no opportunities at all. But also it is important that we guide our young people on how to go about getting opportunities. But also maybe the alternative could be, instead of looking, how about you create your own thing? The reason why we have Panda Pusher on the platform to share with us, especially young people, those who are not technically inclined in terms of digital skills and whatsoever, there's nothing to worry about. I have been following this young man and I have learned a lot. And that's why I decided, instead of me looking for a job, I'd rather help others to look for a job, but rather what he has given me, I'll go for it. And on the other hand, I don't have money and I still want to study further. There is the reason why we brought Advanced Academy in the house, because some of us, you understand what I'm trying to say? Some of us, we can't afford, and that's why Mr. Lebohang is here. So if you allow me just to kickstart this whole thing, I mean, we are aware that South Africa, right now, the unemployment has raised to 30.1% within the last 3 months, and which is very bad. Right now, the 500 billion that we had, it's almost done, finished. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of things that are happening around. Companies are closing down. And if I were to open this now to sort of like break the ice to our panelists, what do you think we should be doing as South Africa, or the government should be doing, whilst we're faced with this pandemic? Things are collapsing. And at the moment, we don't seem like we have a solution. What do you think we should be doing? Anybody can respond on the panelists.
Okay. Sorry, PA.
No problem.
So
Eva.
So really, hi Eva. No, I'm apologizing because we spoke the first. Eva, my dear, this is your show.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay. So this is a critical time for every individual to actually get themselves skilled up. And one person can say there's obviously challenges of cash flow and everything. But the reality is that people need to scale up because there are many roles within our industry that are becoming redundant. You look at COVID has taught us a new way of doing things as business owners, and being in the recruitment space, it's hard to find that talent. I mean, one of the speakers has said that to find a CV that say, get me in front of the client, and sometimes it's not only about the presentation of the CV, it's about the skill that the market is requiring and what the person has. For example, because of COVID, we realized that right now we cannot place a receptionist anymore because people are not in the office, and that's the reality. So if I am a receptionist now, what then? It means the solution is to find relevant skills and start, start upskilling. I don't want to preempt. I'm not sure if maybe one of the panelists will talk and zero in about what is the scarce skills. So I'm not gonna go deep into that unless Miss Eva tells me to later on. But for now, the point that I just want to zero in and emphasize is upskilling. We need to get the scarce skills. The skills that are predominantly in the market are redundant. There is no more need for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mama Jimmy?
Yes, I do agree with Akona on the upskilling aspect. Absolutely. That is very important right now. That said, we have to be honest about the fact that data in South Africa is expensive. So I'm not in government or anything like that, but it seems to me it is quite obvious that for people to be able to take up free learning opportunities, all these courses that are online, it is that much more feasible to do that if data is free or is like really costing next to nothing. I think that is the one thing that if this conversation actually could make a difference, it would be to communicate that to the right people, that at the end of the day, there is so much information out there, but people fail to access the information because of lack of access due to the cost of data. And then that said, to us as people that maybe are faced with the issue of upskilling ourselves.
Yes.
So I think the other gentleman that was addressing you as Akona would be perfectly positioned to really express the issue around the abundance of opportunities online. There are so many opportunities online. If people actually just really were deliberate about going out there and finding the information and making that their hobby and making that their new way of life, because the information will not come to you. You have to go out and find it. And you gotta be consistent in this information age because it is always changing.
Yeah.
It changes so quickly and so fast. And that's my contribution to that question.
Maybe going back to the fundamentals, because I just wanted to ask in that so that people there.
So can I add a bit on that?
Okay. All right.
I think the points that are raised are quite potent. Is that you go to school and then after school, there are certain skills that, as you said, some people can't afford a university or a tertiary or even get a college education. But what I've realized is there are certain things you can learn via YouTube. So upskilling is reading, is getting the right information in order to prepare you for an opportunity. Because of, I think one of the worst things that is happening right now with unemployed people is they want to get an opportunity, then upskill themselves. So you currently don't know Excel, but you wait to find a job that requires you to know Excel and then you learn Excel. So I think what everyone needs to understand is you need to start to prepare for the opportunity right now.
Yeah.
So whatever that you don't know, if it's Word, if it's Excel, if it's PowerPoint,
Yes.
if it's typing, if it's that, you then building your own office at home and you are learning all of these skills that prepare you for employment, because of everything that's happening right now is very psychological. So before, it was easy to just apply for a job because of people are busy. You see a lot of people going to work, but right now it becomes hard, and people start to feel disengaged to the fact that maybe there isn't any opportunities out there. They feel that COVID has taken out everything, and then you start feeling sad. So one of the first things I'd say is switch off the news. Don't read a lot of things that give you a positive and a negative mind. Because employment is also a state of mind. If you are feeling sad, if you feel that you're a failure, if you feel that you're not good enough, then how do you go into the market and sell that to someone? Because people can feel in the interview that this person is not feeling this position. This person is not in a positive space. Because the interview process is it's supposed to be a process where when you walk in, you start to own the room, you start to own the business, you start to position yourself in a way that even the employer feels like they've hired you last week. You start to ask the right and relative questions. But if your state of mind is wrong, you cannot ask the right questions. If your state of mind is wrong, even when you send the CVs, you already feel like they won't call me, Yafa, and then you don't send the CV. So protect your mind.
I think everything
also,
starts
Eva,
with,
Eva, I'm sorry to disturb you on that.
I'm gonna come to you because I want us to structure these questions nicely. That was just an icebreaker for us because I don't want our people to get lost in the information, which is very important. And because I only have Maman Dumi for just a very short space of time, I really want to utilize as much as I can because she has very important information for young people in terms of preparations, you know. I think everything starts with the energy, with all what the speakers have said. Once you say, I'm looking for a job, but then you crawl saying, I'm looking for a job, that's how the universe will actually react towards you as well. It's as simple as that. That's what I think Mr. Rishonel is trying to say. And then Mama Ndumi, you know, people don't always talk about this term, marketable employee, marketable employee. What exactly is marketable employee? Here I am, I'm looking for a job. And I know that I have to prepare my CV and that's all I know. But then someone comes and say, yes, you do have a CV. You have actually submitted it. I've went through it, but you're not fitting, you know, the position of being a marketable employee. What do they mean by that?
So a marketable employee obviously will vary from industry to industry, right? But what people look out for when they are receiving someone's CV is what skills can you bring me? What leadership qualities do you have? Do you possess, or have you learned? So I'll make an
Yeah. Okay, please mute yourself if not speaking. Yeah.
So I'll make an example with people that write in their CVs that their hobby is music.
Yeah.
This basically, this piece of information becomes irrelevant to the recruiter, because if you are not writing music, if you're not producing music, if you're not selling music, basically you listening to music doesn't really teach you anything that you can bring into a job. So if you do have a hobby that maybe like music, let's say you sing in a choir, it's a different story altogether, because then you can say, I sing in a choir at my church, and the skills that I acquire by being a member of a choir is that I learn to be on time. I'm also secretary for the choir. So I've been tasked with the responsibility of writing minutes. So then people start saying that beyond your qualification or beyond you never have ever been employed, you do in actual fact possess leadership skills or leadership qualities. And most people, they'll write one word. So when you say your hobby is reading what? And you reading, how does that make you a person with better skills or better leadership skills? You could say, for example, I follow documentaries of certain caliber people, mention them, and then maybe even outline what you've learned from such activity, right? So not that there's anything wrong with music, but if you don't say what it is about music is going to make a difference in Akona's business, or in Akona's clients, or in his clients, it means nothing. And also, people will say things like achievements, and then they'll write the award, list the award, and not say for doing what. Like maybe they'll say award netball. Maybe be specific. I was a captain for 2 years. I helped the team get more wins from this level to that level. You know, if you try to state what it is that you learned from anything that happens on your CV, you are not communicating. You are just talking, but you are not marketing yourself.
Let me ask this question. Suppose there's a position of, let's say, a receptionist, right? But then I've done welding, I have done security, I have done nursing, and I've also done reception, like course. You know, is it okay for me to be including everything on my CV? Does that make me marketable when I'm applying for receptionist, and then I involve all these other things on my CV? Is it necessary?
It actually may be necessary for you to tell a story, because that is better than you having gaps, right? So Akona will attest with having a CV that has gaps where we don't know what you were doing for 3-4 years is more questionable than you job hopping, right? So if, for example, you did welding, maybe you did an internship or a course in welding, therefore you worked for a year, and then later became a security guard. You are telling a story of what happened in your life. So it is important to state the reason why you left the welding job, right? So the person knows that maybe the contract ended. That is a valid reason why you left the job. And now you became a security guard, and then maybe you left that and became something else. Then you can say, maybe my husband moved to another province, so I was forced now to move. So the CV must tell a coherent story in a brief and direct manner that does not disadvantage you. Because if you just say security, welding, nursing, and you don't give reasons of why the jump happened, then again, it becomes a red flag. It then discredits you instead of marketing you.
No, it really makes sense. And what are the key things that your CV should actually include if you are drafting a CV and you want to make it very appealing to the employers?
Well, the most important thing is that you must make sure that your CV is not in caps. That would be a
Because you're
starting
shouting.
point. Absolutely. And it is concerning when we see a very good CV and it's written in capital letters, we just really shut down. Most recruiters will put it aside. And coming back to what should be on the CV, of course, the CV must state where you studied, right?
Yeah.
So it must state where you studied, and again, it must be in chronological order from the most recent qualification to the one before and the one before. And there's no need for you to actually list all your marks from varsity when you are now looking for a third job. It's not necessary. And then, of course, your work experience is important. What is most important about your work experience is the company you worked for, when you worked at that company, and the title, and then what it is that you were doing in bullet points, not in paragraph. A big paragraph will get confusing. Recruiters, they see thousands of CVs in a short space of time. So it has to be bulleted in such a way that a person can see that this person, this is what they did, so this is what they know. And why you left the job or why you want to leave the job.
Yeah. One other thing that employees always complain about is that we usually give references of the companies that are dissolvent already. And it's not our fault. The company is no longer there, but I did work for the company. What would be your advice for the new companies that we are applying the jobs at, for them to track down and believe in us that, yes, it is a true reference? Because we are struggling, honestly, with that.
My take, and most of my colleagues that have participated within other programs, our take is that do not write references on your CV. Do write reference and then make a note. References available upon request.
Okay.
That is important because it helps you as the person looking for a job to keep track of who remains on your CV. So that when someone sends you a CV and there is no one there, you will then phone the person and say, please, can we have your references, right? And that gives them an opportunity to go back to those companies, and that gives them an opportunity to know that company XYZ actually has closed down. It means I must find another reference. It may be a mentor, it may be someone in maybe a place where you are volunteering or something to that effect. That is important for you to maintain control. And for the company, where people say the company closed down, it is fair to actually state that the company did close down. You can mention that because obviously you've mentioned this company already as your work experience, right? So you say the company did close. You can produce your payslip from the company. You can ask for a letter from that company so that you do have evidence that this was once your employer. And I have a person, I've been running my own business for the past 10 years. I've done many references via my mobile number. And I would be as credible and as honest as possible. So progressive companies do understand that we live in a fluid type of world.
Okay. Wow. Guys, I hope that you are listening and I hope that you are taking notes, because I'm telling you, CV is one thing that will get you through the door. And moving on to Osakona, you know, a lot of people, we don't understand the difference between the labor broker and the recruitment company. Please just tell us the difference before we even go to Mr. Lishonolo assisting us on how to go about to find a company that is suitable for us to get a job.
Okay, thank you, Elsie. So first of all, recruitment companies will never ever ask you to pay for a job. That's not your responsibility to pay us. We don't, if you find any recruitment company that does that, run and possibly do report it. Secondly, the recruitment companies have a body that regulates them. It's called APSO. I always forget the full name for it. But what this body does, what APSO does, is they regulate on how we do our recruitment process. That is from getting the candidate until placement. So there are processes that we have to follow. The body is formed so that recruitment can be standardized and can be done in an ethical manner. so that you don't have people that make people pay for a job, you know. It's a pity because in our country, there's so much corruption that even when you really just trying to do your job, someone really wants to, you know, kind of paint that picture that, well, I'm available to pay you. And it's just not acceptable. So that's what we do, recruitment companies. We do not. Maybe labor brokers, you pay them, but I'm gonna focus and zero in on what we do. We are not allowed to do that. That's unethical. If you come across any recruitment company that does that, it can actually be shut down because that's an unethical behavior.
So with regards to with regards to a labor broker, because I still didn't get the labor broker part, what would be the difference between them and you? Because sometimes I get confused. I mean, I've been looking for a job for like over years, and I've been in the recruitment industry for years as well. But it's just that I still don't get it, mainly because it has never been my interest as such, but for the sake of the people that are watching, so that they know how to differentiate between the labor broker and the recruitment. Because yes, internet does say it in its own English, but simplifying it, because kana kotsedin sokhuwa say ish.
Okay, you're funny, sis, but yeah, it's good. Okay, so so you can say that there is similarities between recruitment agencies and labor brokers because we all in it to find people jobs, right? The payment part of it, that might be different.
Yeah.
Labor brokers maybe can charge you for that because they are now your representative. But with recruitment agencies, we do not charge you. As much as we represent you, we don't charge you. But remember also that with recruitment agencies, we don't necessarily go to people and say, hey, can I find you a job? Whereas a labor broker might also do that, to say, hey, can I find you a job? And if I agree, I might have to be charged a certain percentage because this person is going to be doing all the marketing and making sure that my CV is a good CV. So they can charge you a fee. With us, recruitment, I go in the market and I know what I'm looking for and I go and I look for it and I get it. If you have what I want, then our relationship starts. Whereas with a labor broker, I have to have, if I am in the job market and I'm looking for a job, I must have that relationship and you are there to represent me and me alone to make sure that I get a job. So I guess that's it.
Yeah, so here I am. I'm looking for a job, but I would like to be assisted by the recruitment company, right? What are the things that you can say to us? This is how you identify this is a legit recruitment company.
First thing, it must be registered and must be a member of APSO. Like I said, this is the regulating body. So they must have presence in the online that of different jobs that they've been recruiting, because it's gonna be very strange if there's nothing. We've never advertised any, PPC recruitment has never advertised any job, and yet we are a recruitment agency. The question is how. So you must check that. That should be written on the website if these people are a member of APSO, the regulating body, or any other body. I belong to APSO, so I know that that's a regulating body. And secondly, they must have presence of previous jobs. And also it's very important that you know what kind of jobs they do, because if you're looking for a job as a receptionist, it might not help you to find a recruitment agency that specializes in executive placements, because you're never gonna get that job, because they look at people that are in a certain bracket of income. So before I became in business, that's what I used to do to check if this recruitment agency will add value to my life. I check at the roles that they've done according to their website and their online presence, and then I say, oh, okay, they've done a lot of my jobs. I used to be an account manager in sales, so they've done a lot of placement in sales, so they are likely to have more opportunities. But if I'm in an FMCG, retail in simple terms, I have to look for a recruitment agency that has done more jobs within that space of retail. Then I know that my chances of being found the right job are higher than me going to a recruitment agency that has done 80% of placements within the mining industry or a different industry. because then I'm not going to get the value that I'm looking for. At the end of the day, I'm looking for a job. So those are some of the top important lists to say that this is the agency that one can go to if they are regulated by APSO and they've done most placements and job adverts within the industry that I am in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I get you. You know, COVID-19 has actually exposed us as people who are experts in corruption. There's a lot of people that can say, I'm registered with APSO. They create their own experience, just like people who draft CVs. Barry, they have worked at this company, this company, this company. So come the time of doing the reference check, nothing is like that, you know? I don't know if people can also go onto APSO website and try and check the registration number of the recruitment company. So is that possible?
Yes, yeah. So if people, so all the members of the recruitment companies that are registered with APSO, they will be listed on their website.
Okay.
Which is the greatest thing.
Yeah, Karin, she says, so if recruitment agencies do not charge for their services, how are they making money?
So it's not that we are not charging for our services, but we just don't charge the candidate for our services.
Who are you charging?
Definitely someone else pays for our services.
Who?
And this happens to be, should I share or not?
Yes, we want to know.
This happens to be the client. Okay, I'm pulling your leg. So the client, so like I said, we represent different companies. So company ABC will come to PPC recruitment and say, hey, this is the job spec we're looking for. We're looking for a receptionist. This is the way that they'll be earning. And these are the terms and conditions that they'll be working under. This is, and so on. So we represent them because they are the ones, company ABC is their responsibility to do that. But because they won't be having capacity, they then outsource it to the recruitment agency. So our money comes from the company that is hiring, not from the candidate.
There's a very good question and a very good answer for us to know. Why? Because next time when we go to companies and they say they're charging us money, then we are able to tell them that no, the person who has recruited me is the one who's going to pay you. So what am I paying for?
Absolutely. That's corruption, and it should not be entertained. It should be escalated in the right platforms.
Okay. So let's go back to Mr. Lebohang. Mr. Lebohang, you know, a lot of people, we don't have money to go to schools. Hey, Baban Baruna educated. We've got the skills. And I heard that you're also accommodating people by Lengore. They have never been to universities, but they still want to further their education. So I just want to find out, you know, I have seen a lot of academies that are offering this kind of scholarships. Firstly, let's start from where we need to start. Are these scholarships accredited? Because we don't want to be wasting our time for the whole 12 months studying with Advanced Academy, only to find out I cannot utilize this qualification. Are they accredited with CETA or any body? Is it a higher education, if not mistaken? Yeah, please just answer that for us.
Okay, Ms. Eva, thank you very much for the platform. Okay, with us, all of the qualifications that we are offering, they are accredited under certain or different CETAs, and of which we try to register with the higher education, and they told us that the category that we fall in is not under higher education. And all of the qualifications that we have, we need to make sure that we cannot take a student for a period of 12 months with a course that is not accredited. And it becomes a problem that we give a student that is not accredited for. So that is why in our brochure, we only have about 8 courses that we are offering. We are not offering engineering, we are not offering marketing or other courses that we are not accredited in. We only offer what we are currently accredited in. And we now currently have about 4 new courses that are going to be added that we have acquired accreditation for. So as Advanced Academy, we have exploded nationally. We have about 172 campuses nationally. So as more campuses that we are having, the more accreditation that we need to make sure that we get from the CETAs, because we cannot say that we are only going to offer only 7 qualifications. So we are on that takeover to make sure that opportunities are available. Remember, as well as Advanced Academy, we look at the market. That's the first thing that we look into. If the market is looking for a certain type of a qualification, we need to make sure that we have the right accreditation for that job or for that market that is available. So it's like, for instance, for this one of property management, we also have a qualification in that regard. We also have quality management system. We look at where in the next 3 years or so, where the job market is going or the direction that it's taking. So we need to make sure that we are competitive in terms of the market. We can be offering a course that is exhausted in the job market.
Yeah, of course.
The moment we go out to communities, it is our responsibility to make sure that the people that are unemployed, once they register with Advanced Academy, once they've completed their certain qualification with us, they are competitive in terms of the market, in terms of them looking for employment. Because remember, our main goal is to make sure that whoever student that has completed their qualification with us, they are employable. We expose them to the job market. We are working with clients all over South Africa, whereby they take our students through practicals, they take them through in-service trainings, whereby we take them to that level, and they do not pay anything. Everything is for free. We are not charging a student a cent, and we would like students to utilize that opportunity, because some of the students, when you tell them about free things, they feel, nah, I don't want to take something that is free. I want to pay, only to find out they cannot afford university fees or college fees. Now we go to their own communities, whereby they are just flexibly able to travel between their home to the campus, to their home to the campus. So that's how we existed as an Advanced Academy.
A lot of people are asking, where are you getting the money to pay for our education if we study with you? A lot of people, they don't know what is ETI, you know. If we can just try and, you know, nicely summarize this, because I remember when I approached Advance, I was so confused. I wanted to know, if I you guys, why are you getting money to pay for my education? Because going to university or going to any other, you know, academic institution, studying the specific course that I wanted to study with you guys, it's a lot of money. So why are you getting this? Can you educate us?
Okay, with us, okay, I'm just going to summarize everything, and of which is going to take time, but then I'll be very short and very discreet. We are working with corporates all over South Africa. If you can check, there's some other things, if in simple terms, I'll say social responsibilities from our companies or institutions, whereby they are payee from SARS. It goes into paying for student fees. Remember, for companies that are funding this kind of initiative, it's extra BEE scores. It goes deeper into other categories that are in line with SARS. I'm not going to go deeper into that. But then companies voluntarily, they want to be part of this initiative as part of their social responsibility, to make sure that they're giving back to communities whereby they have businesses in, or communities that they are benefiting in terms of business from them. So most of companies now are coming forth, because remember, the parliament is the one that came with this initiative. So now they're coming forth to say, we also want to be part of this initiative. We also want to give back to youth. We want to also give back to communities that we are operating in. Because remember as well, once these companies come on board, they give us demarcations. There's Africans that qualifies, there's colors that qualifies, there's Indians. But then now this initiative, the white people do not qualify. Remember as well, we know what happened post 1994.
Ivo, why, hey, you guys are racist now. What's going on?
No,
why am I white
that's why
I don't get it.
That is why I'm bringing that forth, to say this initiative is to say, remember, Africans, Indians, and colors were not much exposed to such opportunities. We are trying to bring balance in terms of opportunities for them, to say, you guys have been left behind. Now, here are opportunities that have always been there. To say, Lebohang, if I want to further this kind of a qualification, I can take the free education initiative and study for free. There is no registration fee required. There is no tuition fee required. Then I need to study in the community I'm staying in. I don't have to make any traveling arrangement. I don't have to pay rental or anything. So that opportunity is clustered in terms of demographics. So there's certain levels that we are having, because even companies as well that are, or sponsors that are funding this initiative, their main focus is to make sure that they accommodate the kind of demographic that is needed nationally in terms of their BA scores or in terms of their operation.
Yeah, okay. I'm still going to come to you. I just want to acknowledge my people that are actually assisting me answering to the messages on the platform. So Proper, please, thank you so much. And oh, Mama, and to me as well. Thank you for assisting me with those questions on the platform. And you are, if you're on Facebook as well, try and make sure that you post on our platform. We will try and make sure that we get our speakers to respond to your questions. And just to note, I forgot to mention these important things. If you're watching on the platform and you're inviting at least plus minus 10 to 20 people, and you go on our page, GudtvAfrica Facebook page, and you like, you follow, and you also comment, you stand a chance to win a 100 Rand voucher, at least to keep it, but at least that 100 Rand will make a difference. So please do that. And once you have invited those 20 people, you can just WhatsApp us. I think I have left the number on our Facebook platform where you can WhatsApp us the 20 people that you have actually recommended that they must go on our Facebook page, like, follow, and comment. Tina, what we're going to do on our site, we're just going to go as a team and check those 20 people that you have said that you have recommended to go and like and follow. But if you are not going to do what we are saying, must tell you 100 Rand, but let's go back to Mr. Leboha. Mr. Lebza, when I approached Advance, I think it was last year, or was it early this year? I can't remember. My issue was, my creative people or people in my creative arts practitioners are not really accommodated as such in terms of, you know, getting employment in the corporate sector. Or is it maybe we don't understand how are we supposed to form part in the corporate sector? But it starts firstly with the educational aspect, because as a creative person, at times I feel like I cannot go study marketing. But when you look at entertainment industry, it has so much to deal with marketing. I think there's a lack of understanding, there's a lack of communication between the higher education institutions and people on the platform here, because we are always thinking that if I'm a creative, I need to go to market theater and study something. I need to go to Atlas to go and study something. I don't think I can go to Atlas and carry some of the courses that you are offering. So I don't know, in terms of the creatives, what can you advise us? What are you guys doing to help people in the arts or in the creative sector, so that they know that they also belong?
Okay, with us, there are certain kind of courses that we've been approached in order to offer. Because remember as well, once we offer a certain type of a course, there should be a sponsor in that regard. And also in line in terms of our practicals as well, we need to be able to expose you out there to the job market. So some other courses we have not been much exposed to, because we looked at the market. But then in terms of the seaters, if now we were to go and do media studies, it's a process whereby we need to get accredited for, because we do have other companies that are in the media sector that want to be part of us, but they only want to cater for people that will be following a career path that they are benefiting in. So it's still a process for us, because remember, the ETR started in 2014. So now it has been extended for the next 10 years. So as an advanced academy, we need to make sure that we stay abreast and competitive in terms of the job market. So that's why we said with us, we need to make sure that whatever avenues that are available to make sure that youth or young people between the ages of 18 to 27 get the opportunity to utilize this free education initiative and get them out there into the job market. We will definitely do that as advanced academy. We need to make sure that we get the qualifications that are competitive. So in that regard, into marketing and other arts culture, we still tapping into new fields, because companies that are coming on board now, they are much exposed and they want to fund people that are in that field. And it is our responsibility to make sure that we really get into that.
All right. I don't want to take all the questions because there are a lot of people that are asking questions on the platform here, but then moving forward to BA Pusher, one of our oldest guy in the panel, because he says he's not young. I mean, he's got 10 years in the industry. BA Pusher, you mentioned, I think in one of your YouTube videos, that you just find this 7 to 5 hours job.
9 to 5.
Work. Yeah, 9 to 5. Is it 9 to 5?
Yeah, 9 to 5.
Yeah, 9 to 5 job, it's more like a scam to you. And a lot of people are confused. And I know I interviewed you on one of my shows, but people, they never got a chance to go watch the show. But then I would like you to explain, why are you saying 9 to 5 job is a scam?
You know, this one, it was a debating with different type of people, you know.
Okay.
But just to lighten you with a few things, right? We can't necessarily be doing what our parents were doing and our grandparents were doing,
Yeah.
and think that is okay, you know. We can't be forced in situations where we have to put bread on the table just because that is needed, but we hate what we are doing. 90% of the people that are actually doing 9 to 5 hate their jobs. If it's exactly what you want to do, is just to put bread on the table, then you will always feel like you're lacking something. Even if you get your CV right, you get everything that you need to get right to get employed. If you hate what you're doing, you're trapped in a system whereby even the suicides are going high. So what we are teaching, what the schools are teaching, and what our parents have been teaching us for years, is to basically get a job that pays. But they never teach us to get a job that we love in order to be happy, in order to make more money. Because look at the things that I'm doing. I love being on YouTube. I love giving out information. I love teaching. I love doing all these things. And I was able to make 7 streams of income from what I love.
7.
But let me just cut it from there. It's a scam if you're gonna go with a rat race. Listen, your boss will never pay you enough to be his neighbor. Never.
Okay.
So what does that say? That says that if you're still in a job where you can't grow as a person or get a skill, all the skills right now, and I don't want to say good shot to COVID, and I don't want to say good shot to lockdown, but it was going to happen. The next stage that's going to happen is that if your skill is not as useful, or think about your skill. If your skill is not, how can I put it, tangible, you are going to lose your job. Not now, but in the next 3 or 4 years. What's going to happen is that retail shops, McDonald's is already implementing it. All these shops, they're going to shut down. Everything is it's going to be digital or robotic. Robots are going to take over, or digital is going to take over. They're already doing it. We're shopping online. Listen, our groceries, I can call groceries right now. They can come to my house. I don't need anyone to pack or whatever. They will have factories for that.
Yeah.
So they don't need your skill. You understand? They don't need you to put in the pin and whatever. We can do that ourselves. McDonald's is already implementing that. So what I'm saying is that we've been taught this thing from generations to generations of get a job. Be a doctor. But no one actually teaches you to love what you do in order to make sure that that thing is a long-term goal, that you're happy in whatever you're doing. So what I teach on my YouTube channel, before I can teach someone to make money, I teach them to find their purpose. If you find your purpose in whatever you're doing, it will be easier and you'll be more happier. Make your passion your paycheck. That's what I call it.
Right.
If your passion, as ridiculous as it might sound, when I started digital marketing, people were like, how are you making money? Whoever YouTube will let the video. What's that more like? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I make more than a doctor just from a YouTube video. You understand? I'm not saying I don't know what doctors. I'm just putting it out there. But I'm just saying that if I can make 40K a month, my videos I make. If I can make, let me explain. If I can make 40K, and I'm not saying this like, if you go on my YouTube channel, I have a video where I show you where my stats are, where Google. So I'm getting paid in pounds and in dollars. I'm not getting paid in rands.
Can I be
because I started yeah. Basically, I don't get paid. That's what's going on. Even drop shipping. I'm drop shipping overseas. There's a concept called drop shipping. Basically, what happens is I don't have the product. I've never seen the product. I don't know the customer. I don't even deal with the customer. But I have a beautiful website. That customer orders on my website, pays on my website, And then a company, another sourced out company will deliver to that customer, and I give them, I mean, that company or that supplier, I give them the percentage of their money and I keep mine. And this is a rotation that goes in all the, listen, it's a bit complex right now when I explain it. But if you, the only thing we need in South Africa right now, we don't need any more, guys, we don't need any more this education, what. We need to give people skill sets in order for them to understand what they're passionate about so they can make money on the digital industry. That's where we're going. The only thing that was not shut down was digital.
Yeah.
The 1% of the people that were on digital made thousands to million rands when this whole thing was shut down. So what I'm saying, basically what I'm saying is that we are in a time where we have to stop having this notion or this backward mentality of thinking that all you have to do right now is get your CV right or yes, if you like employment, some people, you know what I'm saying, they like being told what to do. Employment is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying employment is a bad thing. I'm saying if you hate what you're doing, you should stop immediately. It's eating in you. But if you love, I mean, look at Skinny's Boost socks. When he started that thing, we thought he was crazy. Who's gonna buy socks for 200 rand? I'm a happy socks for 200 bucks. But he loved what he was doing. So he pursued that. And that's why right now, I'm a Skinny's Boost socks. They're in all the retail shops, and he doesn't even need a retail shop anymore. He can sell everything online. So the courses that we're supposed to be doing right now is teaching people how to make money overseas, how to bring the dollar to the rand here, Ekai. That's what we're supposed to be teaching. Because the truth is there's not enough jobs, and we're still gonna lose more jobs. Like we're still gonna lose more jobs. People must get like this thing high so people are gonna lose jobs. By the time that people realize that the 1% of the people that are actually buying into their education and getting skills and all of this, that's the 1% that's going to survive. The rest of the people that are still going to universities and trying to get I don't know, reception, qualification, you know, basically, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. But if you love being a reception, I mean, good luck, you know, the world is your oyster. Go for it.
Listen, somehow I concur with you, and I share your sentiments, because one thing that I can tell you is that the internet evolution is taking over. The 4IR thing, the 4IR5 is gonna come. You know, it's just
all we need right now is the government to give us data. That's it. We don't need anything from them.
Wow.
That's all we need. We just need data. We need to sell on YouTube. Like you can make a shoe from looking at a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can make anything from any tutorials on YouTube. Anything that you want to do is literally on your screen. All we need from the government is to cut down the cost of data. That's it.
I think I'm going to send the president this footage, all right, so that he listens to it, because sometimes I think it's always good that we get young people to come up with solutions, because Rona, you're too old. I mean, I've got wrinkles. What am I thinking with my wrinkles? So at times I still go slower.
Eva, I'm 34. I'm 34.
You're still young.
Boom.
I'm so old enough. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is you are actually raising very important points. And I think our government, they really need to hear this. Some of the people from the Department of Labor, they are listening. They are on the platform right now as we speak, and which is a very good thing. But then BA, I mean, someone who comes from the villages, Limpopo, down in the Free State, I don't have those privileges. I don't have even the laptop, you know, to be logging onto the internet. I don't even have data. But I'm aware that the COVID-19 has exposed us so much, and it needs me to adjust at some point for me to survive. What do you say to such a young person? Or to such
I would ask that young person, do they have a smartphone?
They don't have.
They don't have a smartphone. If they don't have okay, Eva, you know what? The problem about me is that I've never looked for problems, but always solutions.
Yeah.
The government has these libraries. I'm sure they have internets.
Yeah.
Even if they're in the village somewhere or whatever situation, I used to legit, I used to go to a library an hour away when I was about 16 or so, an hour away. I used to go to the internet cafe, pay 5 rand, sit there and just I don't know how much it is right now, but back in the days was 5 rand. But I've never found excuses not to educate myself or find something. There's something called M4Jam. If you have a smartphone, download it today, right? M4Jam pays for my data. How do they do that? They give you odd jobs. They tell you go to a spaza shop, go kai, take a photo of that spaza shop, who will give you $30. Isn't that airtime? So there's apps, literally apps that are paying people from 4,000 to 5,000 rand to do odd jobs. It's called getting surveys. It's called surveys and getting data for big companies. So apps like M4Jam pay individuals like you and me. And if you are here right now and you're watching this or you're listening to this, you do have a smartphone. So you don't have any excuses. You understand? The only thing is that don't use that 500 rand bucks to go do your hair. It's fine. We're in COVID. We don't need to see you. Don't use that 500 bucks to buy, you know what I'm saying? Don't use that. Like my expenditure, my highest expenditure is on data. Because I know what I'm getting out of it. I have a skill set right now. Sorry, Eva, just one more time. I have a skill set right now that people are dying to have. How to make money online. How many people have that skill set right now? Yes, there might be doctors and lawyers and whatever, but how many people know how to make money online? How few of us actually have that skill to say, I can literally make 100K a month? Very few people. And it only took me a couple of months to learn this. So yeah.
All right. Now that you say that I mustn't do my hair. This is very funny. So Akho, now don't blame me when I come rocking up in your office for an interview without my hair being done, because OBA said I mustn't do my hair. Oh, my data.
As long as you know that first impressions last, so it's up to you.
Well,
I think we need
so
to
just
really
moving
try
on to
and,
Mr. Lekhohonono. Yeah, I was moving to.
I think we really need to try and unpack. I think there are certain elements that we could take from BA.
So maybe I should just give you a platform, because actually I was moving on to you. But firstly, before you unpack what BA said, also add that to the question I'm going to ask you. I am looking for a job. I go on Facebook, I go on the internet, and I always find companies that are scams. How do I differentiate between the legitimate company, and the one that is a scam? Because people have been scammed. You find companies that are saying, come and pay 100 rand, like I apply. Once I've given them my information, the next thing they say, I must come and pay 100 rand. But then just add your answer and just add on top of what BA has said, sir.
No, thank you, man. I think BA actually made us all excited, I must say. Because I mean, he's going hardcore. It's quite true that the world we live in right now does not require excuse. But some elements is true, because of in what he says a lot of people really hate their jobs, and it's sad. I mean, we work with people that don't really like what they're doing. But I don't even think Adam was given a choice. So Adam was made, he was then put in Eden, and he was told those are the trees, and Adam had to make a plan because of that was his work. So part of finding your work, and in what he says you have to find what you're good at. Because once you find what you're good at, you are not working, but you are giving what is naturally given to you. So we'll all be different. I mean, if you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, he works for someone, but he's a rich billionaire soccer player that has a boss, that someone calls him and says to him, you have to be a trader. He has a referee, and he responds to a whistle. You must understand, when it says brr, he stops. When it says brr, he runs. But that's his work. So part of what he's saying is we have to take and identify what are we good at. So let's not do the copycat syndrome, that whole monkey see, monkey do. You know, we must try and identify what is it that I do very easily without effortless. If I'm good at typing, I must try concentrate on being a typer. Maybe I'm good to draft CVs. Maybe I'm good at documents. Maybe I should be offering services 1, 2, 3. Maybe I should even be online and offering typing services for free, because that sort of services are available out there. So part of what we get lost in is the whole copycat stuff. And the whole copycat stuff are reasons why people resign from employment. Because of when you resign, some people are resigning and they don't even have a new job opportunity. Because they feel that they've been pushed to such a curve. It's quite an emotional thing and it's quite draining, and then they resign. And now, the minute they resign, the bills don't resign. The bills are still there.
Yes.
The bread cost is still there.
Yeah.
The kids cost is still there. The school fee cost is still there. So everything is we have to take this interview, and all of us have to start to identify what is it that I can do willingly, effortlessly. So I like that Bia has found effortlessly that he can log online and he can provide a service. And maybe there are other people out there that can do the same thing. But there could be someone out there that just enjoys the basic stuff and they found peace because of what we need to always do is recognize our individuality because of that is what the crux of the issues of unemployment is. Someone who was just an administrator, who was just a type, and someone said, but what you're doing is useless.
Yeah.
Now they feel that it's a useless thing and they must stop. I think the question you asked earlier was what should we do as a country? And I think what we should do as a country is start to encourage and motivate each other.
Yes.
Start to say that, you know what, without you, we could not have a receptionist. Without you, we could not have an administrator. Those that are employed to start even greeting the receptionist. Because part of the issue is people aren't greeting the receptionist. People are treating the cleaner bad at work. People are treating people of lower LSMs bad because of they are in higher positions.
Yeah.
We should start to motivate each other. So in terms of that, we then have a retention solution because of our issue of unemployment may not be that jobs aren't available. Part of the issue is that people have left their jobs. So once all of these people are resigning because we did not greet the receptionists, because of you are treating the cleaner badly, because of you are ridiculing someone because of they don't have a certain skill or a certain knowledge, it then builds up to the issue that we have today.
Yeah.
So how do we then identify what we then call scam syndrome? Part of the issue that we have is desperate times call for desperate measures. If a job says to you, you can have this following position, and with this following position, we require you to either pay for uniform, we require you to either pay for registration, we require you to pay for ITC, we require you to pay for background checks. Just know you are being scammed. So I think Akona highlighted that part of a recruitment company's core purpose is that they are doing all of the ITC checks at the background. So they are being paid a service because the employer may not have the necessary time to do the background checks for all of these employees. So that's why their services get outsourced. So the recruitment companies do all of that stuff and it's a free service.
Yeah.
And one question is, why do you want to work for a company that even before you enter the door, they're saying we don't have money? How will they pay your salary? If you are paying as an employer 250 before you even enter, you should already recognize that it's an issue.
Yeah.
So number one, never apply to a job that has a Gmail account. I do know that a lot of startup companies do operate on Gmail, do operate on Yahoo, do operate on Hotmail. But in terms of what I do, I never share those jobs because those jobs are what they use as identifiers. You may find that there's a Nando's post, they show you a Nando's logo, everything is Nando's, but at the bottom they say send your CV to lechonolo@gmail.com. But it's a Nando's ad. How does Nando's then have a Gmail? How does big corporate companies, your Standard Banks, your ABSAs, all of these places, how do they then end up with a Gmail account? It's already a red flag. What you should also then use is they use a lot of these addresses which are most common. Your interview will be at Pritchard, your interview is somewhere in Hillfox, your interview is somewhere there in town. You can then identify from all of these places because of as you are in town, there isn't a lot of businesses that you do find in all of those halls Gilfox, and Fox Street. And all of these places are used as places of scams. So
Yeah.
in simple and in short, never pay for a job.
Yeah.
I know it's desperate times. I know you're looking for a job. I
Yeah.
know you are hoping that something is right, but a scammer is someone that is ruthless. Scammers, I think they don't even have a heart. A scammer is someone that is also looking for bread like you, but they are using your misery and your desperation to satisfy their needs. They are drawing you. It's a rule of a carrot. Everything is a professional. I've even seen that once they even send you a contract of employment. So once they send you a contract of employment, I mean you have it in your hand and they say pay 250. What are the chances of you not paying? They've got the company letterhead, they've got everything, they've even written your name nicely there for you. You are already celebrating. But they say that before you start, we just need to do a background check of 350. So 0 fee should be paid for employment. So that's from my side. So don't use the Gmail accounts, don't use the Yahoos. And the most sensitive thing, as much as we do like the internet stuff, but I don't open links. So I'm a guy that's in the job industry, but anything that has a link, I don't open because of scammers are using some of these links to somehow access your information.
Yeah.
Only open a link from a reliable source.
Yeah.
Because of you open a link, they then hacking your Twitter, they're hacking your Facebook, they're hacking everything, and you're not even sure how do they access my information. They're sending all of these inbox messages to your friends. That now to some extent they even send a message to your friends and say, please send me 100 rand. I need it urgent. It's because of you open the link. That link, I'm not sure it's done, but after you open that link, they can then access your information. So try and avoid links. Only open links from a reliable source. I know it's desperate times and it calls for desperate measures, but take your time. Whatever is meant for you will always find you. So don't open these links. Don't send Yahoo and all of that. Don't do any other. Even when people come to me and say they need me to share job posts on their behalf, and they send me a Gmail or Yahoo account, I tell them outright that unfortunately I don't share Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, anything that is not a business email. I don't share on my platform.
Yeah, no, it's a disadvantage for us, some of us who don't have money to create like proper websites and buy the domain because, you know, we are still struggling and we want to come up with businesses. So I think this corruption, it sort of like spoils everything for everybody because there are people that are using Gmails and Hotmails, but they're legitimate companies. It's just that they don't have money to be coming up with the websites that are expensive. So we are still trying, you know, to find our way in the business. But anyway, it's okay. We understand that because a lot of people that are using the Gmails, these ones that are using the Hotmails are usually the scammers, and we understand that, Mr. Fonolo. Thank you so much. Just before we move forward, because we're supposed to wrap up at 8 o'clock, guys, and I want the last 20 minutes, our panelists, to actually be specific on what they are offering, because I think all of us, we have locked in to find out what are the opportunities that are there available. But before they do that, I've got a question coming from Facebook, and I think this one is directed to Mr. Mkomo. It says, I'd like to ask if your initiative caters for youth with disabilities, and if so, what happens to those who need transport to the facilities? I think this is post maybe COVID-19. Maybe you can explain currently how are you running your trainings, and maybe after COVID-19 has passed, how do you deal with people with disabilities? Your mic is off. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I wanted to say thank you very much, Eva, for the opportunity.
Yeah.
I believe we have different kind of campuses that we are offering. We have campuses for able students and disabled students, in a sense that they are different in terms of their levels. Disabled campuses, when we open them, we offer them transport allowance of 2,000 Rand, whereby that money caters for their traveling. Because remember, we do have students that cannot have means to go to campus. But then we are not paying the transport provider, or we're not paying a certain type of service provider. We only cater to the students. We said to you, please fill in a student application, provide us with the highest qualification obtained, and also provide us with the letter of disability, because like my brother said, there are a lot of scammers around here. Someone will just come because they heard that there's 2,000 that has been offered for transport, and be like, I'm also disabled. So how we do it, we need a letter of disability from an accredited practitioner, and also proof of banking account. We are not going to give you money in somebody else's account, because remember, there are people that are legit disabled, and we need to make sure that they benefit from this initiative. Disabled campuses are treated differently from able campuses. We are not paying students. I need to clear that part. It goes in line with disabled. We are not paying students to study with us. We are getting funding to pay for that tuition and registration fees. But with disabled students, there's a different category. Remember, we need to pay for that tuition. There needs to be payment for their registration fees. There needs to be payment each and every month to their student bank account to cater for their transport fees, which amounts to 2,000. Because remember, their medications are not the same. We cannot say in Free State we're going to pay a student 70 rand. In Gauteng, we give them 4,000. In Durban, we give them 170. We made a standard amount to say 2,000 will cater for a student for transport. So it doesn't matter where you stay, Limpopo or Western Cape, disabled campuses, we do open them. But then once we open a disabled campus, we open it with the number of 30 students. Because remember, COVID is in place. Even before COVID, it was 5 students in a class, because they come on different days. So we don't want you as a facilitator, because as well as Advanced Academy, once we open a campus, we go to the said community. We look for youth that is qualified or graduates that are unemployed. We give them this opportunity to facilitate the processes on our behalf. So we already create employment for unemployed youth within the areas that we're opening campuses. So we don't want to overburden you with disabled students that are 13 class. Per day, it's only 5 students, maximum is 7 in a day. So so that it becomes easier for you to monitor their progress and be able to give them the support, because they also need to graduate. If I can explain this part, Eva, is to say disabled or maybe schools that are catering for people with special special cases. Their schools end with only grade 10. There is no exit plan from Department of Basic Education. This opportunity came as a plan to say, these people have completed their grade 10, but they've not done grade 11 or grade 12. They are not exposed to the job market. We need to make sure that we cater and give them this opportunity to do a certain type of qualification. Let me say, for instance, they do a qualification in wholesale and retail operations. They are of a better opportunity to be exposed to the job market. Because if most of us as panelists or maybe the viewers, we know that Checkers is part of us. They are taking people that are from deaf schools, people with disabilities, because remember, we need to also give them the opportunity. They must not be felt that they are treated differently. They are part of us. We are giving them that opportunity, but then with different merits to say, you don't have to worry about your transport. We'll get you transport. We need to make sure that you have the means to be at the campus. So disabled campuses, we are catering for them, but then with different merits to the normal campuses for other students.
That is so beautiful. And just to put you on the spot, I think GudtvAfrica would love to actually partner with Advance. Why? Because this is not going to be the first and the last of our session online. There are a lot of young people that could not log in tonight. And I know a lot of them are going to come after they've heard about this session, and some of them are still going to be watching it online. So I would love to personally make an appointment with you guys online, so that when I come, you say, you never made an appointment. My people are my witnesses, all right? Are you my witnesses? So please, I would like to come to Advance sometime maybe next week, and we talk about this so that we can actually open up these opportunities for a lot of young people across the country. And my people on Facebook, please, this is not only for Gauteng. Advance is working like nationwide, all right? So these opportunities are for everybody, not for people in Gauteng, right? Just because I live in Gauteng. I'm from Free State, yeah? So my people, they're there. Just to move forward quickly, BA, you also mentioned that you're also doing training. I want to find out how much are your trainings, or are they for free?
No, they're not for free. Someone has to pay the piper, eh? Listen, everybody pays the piper. Everyone pays the piper.
Yeah.
It's a 4 weeks course. Basic 7 streams of income. How to build 7 streams of income, where we talk about affiliate marketing, drop shipping, and well, it's quite a long module, but it takes you 4 weeks, and you get a one-on-one Zoom trainings with me every single week. It's $500. Yeah, every single week, but it's 4 weeks, right? By 4 weeks, you should have been good. You got your information, your website is up, you started making money. But can I just advise, if you really don't get into this because you are desperate in need of money, or you're trying to get, like, you really need to know what you're going into, or understand that this is the digital world. You must love the digital world, because it does get so frustrating sometimes. It needs you to be patient. Some things don't work, this works, but definitely once you get the skill and you love the digital world, it would work. So it's $500, www.pusherpressplay.com. That's our website, and my YouTube channel is free. There you can get free content. I talk about half of the things that I talk about on my courses. It's BA Pusher to be on my YouTube channel. Just
so
subscribe.
as GudtvAfrica, speaking for my own people, right? And I know some of the sponsors are listening, and we're gonna go out with GudtvAfrica also to find sponsorship, to at least sponsor some of the people that would like to do this training on this platform. Would you give us a discount?
It's already $500. Please, okay, let's do this, né? Let's do this. Go check out the guys that are teaching everything I'm teaching, which is about 4 of us.
I'm not talking about the other guys, BA.
Listen,
I'm talking about
they're 9,000 Rand per course, because everyone is trying to get the skill. So with you guys, but I mean, yo.
Okay, people, you heard him. So we leave it with a question mark, because I mean, look, we want to really help a lot of young people, not even young people, even older people, because right now, our older people are in trouble, to be honest with you. Everybody has to readjust now. And we are as Good TV to say, we're going to go to your Nando's, we're going to go to McDonald's, we're going to go everywhere, and saying, there's a young man who's trying to help our community. And as much as he's making us to pay 500 Rand. I know that you cannot afford to pay 1 million of people 500 Rand. So we are trying to give us a little, can you give us a little of what you can give us so that we can pay for these people? So I'm not talking like 10 people or 5 people to bring to you. Maybe we can bring them in 10s, in 5s, but I can tell you we're gonna bring a lot of number. So hence I'm asking publicly, so, because you are enough.
Why you wanna do it publicly? Yeah. Okay, no, I mean, we can talk. I'm already doing it. I'm already doing it for free on my channel. So come through. I mean, I want to help. The reason why I started my YouTube channel is because I want to just transfer the knowledge, right? So yeah, definitely, just hit me up.
I know on the YouTube channel, you guys, you only give the basics. We want that one. Yes. So we're gonna talk. But moving forward, briefly give us the websites that you suggest that we go to, because we don't have jobs right now, because a lot of people are asking, can you please ask BA to mention those websites that we can log on so that we can find that little money, make that little money. So please share with us, my brother.
On my website, www.pusherpressplay.com, I have a free list of all the apps that make me 10,000 Rand per month.
So you say is www.pusherpressplay.com or .co.za.
Okay, can I just put it here so that people can just get it? Can I just am I allowed to type it?
Yes, we can type. Right. You can type, please.
Yeah, I'm just gonna type here. So go to my website, and then there is, if my team hasn't taken it down, but if they have, connect@pusherempire.co.za. Please send us an email. connect@pusherempire.co.za. marketable.co.za. Send us an email. We'll send you all the websites and the apps that I personally use that make me 10 grand per month. Like, but you need to work. Like, it's not gonna just be an app. You need to actually give out surveys. It's apps that need people to do odd jobs. It's also international apps that you just basically give them your information. Maybe they ask you about your heritage or whatever situation, and then they pay you in dollars. So I make 10,000 rand from those apps. But I have a list that I was giving out for free last month. So if my team is taking it down, please send my team what's this email address and ask for the top 10 apps that make you 10 grand per month.
All right, what you can do for me, just on my WhatsApp, just drop down, just drop me those that information, like the website, and also some of the handles that you have, so that at least I can put them on Facebook, on our Facebook page, right?
No problem.
I think that will help. And then Mr. Lihlohonolo, maybe starting with you, what are some of the opportunities that you have for us, please?
Okay, I think what I'll do from my side is opportunities. There's just so many jobs out. I think I've already, for this week, I've already shared over 80 positions. So I think what I'll do is ideally I'll open other groups and then I'll share it with you, and then you'll just post them online. So people can follow me on Twitter as Share Jobs by Pops, which is initially Pops TDK. I am also on Facebook as Share Jobs by Pops, and then as our backbone is also Share Jobs by Pops, is also available on the WhatsApp platforms. We do also offer CV update services, which look at how do we make a CV professional, understanding that I've hired a lot of people in my career, both professionally and personally. So I think everything that is out there, I'll just share it with you, and then you'll just post it. And then as and when it goes on, what I'd like as well as Leboham, whenever you've got opportunities for schools, please do let me know, because the outreach reaches nationally. So I deal with people in Gauteng, Free State, Western Cape, Kimberley. I mean, with over 20 groups, you're reaching over 3,000 people nationally. So I think in terms of the intake, people that use my services, if you're looking for 50 people, you probably get like 500 odd CVs. So I think that should help to reach more people, because of the service you're doing. It's quite a good one. I mean, free education. Even I would want to apply. It's a course. I mean, surely there are people out there that don't know much about you. So whatever you have, you can share it, and then surely I'll then move it forward to prepare people for the next coming year, whenever you guys are opening again.
All right. So like I said, we'll be working with Mr. Lihlohonolo. We're going to turn this into a TV show, basically. So we're just setting a foundation, but this is the beginning. It's our first show, so we're going to be hosting it on a weekly basis because Mr. Lihlohonolo, when you go to his site, yes, he's got a number of jobs. And I ask myself, where is this guy coming from? There's coronavirus, there are no jobs, and then he's got jobs. Where is he getting them from? So we then thought, let's rather come together and form a partnership and come up with an online show that will turn eventually into a TV show where we will be discussing a lot of things regarding employment and unemployment, and also offering those jobs on a weekly basis. Moving on to Os-Akona. Os-Akona, what do you have for us today?
Okay, so PPC Recruitment is busy recruiting for professional nurses as well as assistant nurses for the government in response to the situation that we are in for COVID-19. We're looking at 9 months contract. The salaries are good. That's what we currently have at the moment, where most of the young people, it doesn't matter whether we have experience or not, you are eligible to apply. So you can go to our website, ppcrecruitment.co.za, and drop an email to Mary at ppcrecruitment.co.za.
Okay, and is it nationwide or just in Gauteng?
For now, we're starting in Gauteng, but
Yeah.
be on the watch out for the on the website so that when we expand. So for now, it's just Gauteng, and then after that, we're gonna move to other provinces.
All right. Welcome, Mr. Punit Damija. I can see you right there. There's a very important man in our society as well. So you guys, if you don't know who Mr. Punit is, please Google him. He is so famous. He's everywhere talking and, you know, empowering people in all ways. So moving to Mr. Lebohang, I know a lot of people are asking me on Facebook, how do we register with Advance? Especially with regards to the requirements, because you can't just, you know, look up and say, I call, hey, I want to apply. There's processes that we need to understand here. So please share with us, sir. Yeah, just unmute yourself. Waruka, Mr. Lebo. Okay, there you go.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Okay, I believe maybe we're struggling with network. Okay, with Advanced Academy, how we register a student, we need the student to have completed grade 10, 11, or 12. The student must be between the ages of 18 to 27. Because remember, we are working with the government initiative. It's very much strict in terms of age. So on the government gazette is speaking of 18 to 29. But then we had to drop it to 27 in order to allow if someone did not perform to the best of ability to be taken back into the program. So that's why it's then said to be 27. So they need to submit their academic results and a copy of their ID and fill in a student application. I believe in every institution before you apply, we must have your information. So all of the three documents must be completed in order to allow a student to register. Now with COVID in place, we are swiftly moving to the 4IR, I believe, the online applications and all. And once we have received maybe an interest from certain community, remember what we are doing, we're national. We have people in almost towns that people will never even think that we do have. But then if, let me say, for instance, we do not have someone in Kronstadt, for instance, in the Free State, we need to make sure that we present to the municipality. Municipality, here's an initiative that we are having. We want to have this campus in your community. We want to give the youth an opportunity to study for free. Here are the other criteria that youth need to have. So the municipality, they endorse the program to be in their area. Then we do it through the YDO offices, because we'll never want to go to certain places that we have a campus, but then the relevant officials are not aware of such initiative that we are offering. Because remember, there's Department of Labor involved. They have people that are on Department of Labor database. They can give us students that are unemployed. So we do it the right and the proper way to make sure that we cater for everybody that needs this opportunity. We do not cater for people that are employed on the basis that they are taking opportunity for people that are unemployed. The criteria of age, it's still a problem even now, because we cannot cater for someone who's 32 years old, because we always get disputes that youth is until 36, until 35, but then this initiative only focuses for a certain age limit, and it's only 18 to 29. But with us at Advanced Academy, it is until 18 to 27.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Lebohang. I'm going to repeat this again, ladies and gents, especially the ones that are listening on Facebook. Like I said, please go to our Facebook page, like, follow, and comment. You stand a chance to win a 100 Rand voucher. Don't ask me where it's coming from. We've got blessers in the house. So this is where we're getting our things from. And it's going to be happening almost every week, because there are people that are thinking that we are doing a very good job. And just with the comments that I'm getting on Facebook, they are saying, Advance, you are doing a very good job. Mr. Lehlohonolo, you are also doing an excellent job. They would like to have all this number of jobs that you're talking about. So I did mention to them that you're going to list them to us, and then we're going to post them on our Facebook page so that people get to know where they're supposed to go and what they're supposed to do. And then also, our corner, people are asking for your website. Can you please just tap it on our Zoom page so that at least people can get it? And then, let me see, Austin Dumi Utamaile Batongi, they wanted to ask you some questions. So Austin Dumi Utamaile. And then with BA, people are saying, please give Eva or GudtvAfrica the discount. So we will talk about it offline. But just to mention, we're gonna give this training, at least about 4 people that have locked in today. We will tell you who they are on the last 2 minutes of the show so that you don't lock out, you know? And regardless whether you are digitally inclined or not, this is the time that we need to learn. I am not a digital person, but I decided to follow BA and I am making it. I am making it. Next time I'll make the 40 grand. So don't ask me how much I'm making right now, right? But I still want to go into the full course as well to understand. And this is a very beautiful thing because I am telling you, once you've done the course, you're never going to think of even going to go for an interview or searching for a job. So this is real, people. This is so real. Now, with the last few minutes that are remaining, I'm going to open the platform. People who are here, if you want to ask a question to the panelists, please do so while I'm still searching for my people that I can give this training to. So anybody who would like to speak, please raise your hand so that we can allow you the platform to ask our panelists. Just raise your hand if you can. All right. Even if it's a comment, I mean, these people have brought us a beautiful information. They have set time aside for us to come and share this important information. I have Sia here. So Sia, I'm gonna give you a chance. Galaxy tab, you are second. And then, let me see. Okay, for now, let me just take this to you. So Sia, you can start, my dear, it's fine. Sia, the platform is yours.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, my dear.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good evening.
Evening, my dear.
Okay, good evening.
Your network,
my question is to my question is to be a pusher. I'm very interested in what I would just like to know, is it only 500 bucks? That's all you have.
Sia, your line is very bad.
And then
Sia?
how do you get
Sia, your line is very bad. I'm just going to mute you for now.
things, like if you don't have data and, you know, okay, I'll type the.
Okay, let's just do this. I'm just going to mute Sia for now. And then we're going to move on to Galaxy Tab. You've raised your hand. We'll come back to Sia. Sia, if you're listening, please just type your question because your connection is very bad, my dear. You are cutting off a little bit and we can't hear even a single word you're saying. So Galaxy Tab, you can unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, my dear, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I hope that my network doesn't do what happened to Sia. And my as follows to Leflonolo. I'm actually in his WhatsApp group, the Shape Hops one.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to ask, I've got like 2 questions. The one is arising from today to ask that his academy, the advanced tech one, is it like going to university, like in the form of like maybe it's for 6 months or 1 year? Can you please give me clarity on that? And then the second question, in terms of the jobs that he sometimes provides on the WhatsApp portal, I think I've only approached them once, but some of the jobs, they don't, some of the emails, they don't really go through, even though he does screen to say that Gmail accounts I do not accept to share with people. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Lhanalo?
Hi.
Hi.
I think just to answer you now, I'll try and give you a gist of a picture in my mind. And this is what happened. So there are 20 WhatsApp groups, and then there's 28,000 followers on Twitter. And then I'm currently now sharing with a big group. I think there's 730 odd thousand. So from the time that you see the post, so that's why there's a specific time I like to post the post, which is usually in the morning. So from the first click that it goes into your WhatsApp, there are now smaller share jobs by Pops Group. So someone has seen that this guy's sharing every day. They now created their own group. So whenever I forward, they forward it. So you must understand that if you do the calc, I think after 1 hour of a post, already 1 million people have seen it. So that's how quickly it's been. Because of if 1 million people have seen a post, then from the 1 million people to the actual employer, after like 500 odd or 1,000 or a couple of thousand, it then blocks email because of its full. So that's why I'll try share like a WhatsApp screens where they even come back to ask me like, how do they stop all of these emails? And I'm like, I can't go back and say this post is no longer available because I'm not even sure who's sharing what way. So that's why it's critical that if I'm sharing in the morning, by the time that it gets shared, then you are also sharing it on your side. There's also people that when I tweet it on Twitter, they then automatically then are retweeted. So you understand that a job, we are imagining that we are the only people that are unemployed, but there's millions of people that are unemployed. So there are basic jobs, like there was one which was offered at Discam. So at Discam, that job on its own had over 1,000 retweets. That's how bad it is. So by the time you send your email, it then says, it comes back and it says the sender's blocked because of its fault. Not that it doesn't work, it just says it comes back of the sender. They've even asked the IT guy to say, hey, we didn't expect this much output. So that's why even when I'm discussing with Lebogang, to make it clear for him to say, Lebogang, you might ask me for 50 people, but I'll probably get you 1,000. So that's how it looks when one post is shared. That's the magnitude of the issue that we have in South Africa.
Right. Galaxy, were you answered?
Yes, I was answered, and it's very, it's very insightful. Like I wish I could have captured that part of the answer and put it on WhatsApp or whatever, because people actually approach you to say, Wutsi, why are you sharing a scam or whatever is the case. Yeah. But he didn't answer the second part of my question about the advanced academy.
Advanced Academy? I think it's Mr. Advanced Academy.
That's for Lebogang.
Yeah. Lebo, what was the question, Galaxy, quickly? We only have 6 minutes left. Galaxy, can you repeat your question for Lebogang for the Academy, Advanced Academy?
Okay. I was asking in terms of like, I sometimes communicate with youth, so I'd like to have a clear picture to say that this advanced tech, is it the same as a university? Like, does it take 6 months? Like, can you please give me just a brief clue? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you very much, Galaxy Tip, for your question. I'll just summarize it in a minute or so. Remember, there's different levels. There's universities, there's colleges for further education and training. Then there's us, community education and training. I believe the level that we fall in, remember, it all depends to the kind of qualification that we're offering. We have qualifications until NQF level 5. There's some of the new courses that we're going to have until NQF 6, which then becomes a diploma. So we are not at the university level, but we're offering until NQF 5. So those are different categories because we have from NQF 2 to NQF 5, the kind of courses that we are offering.
Okay. All right, just a quick one from Sia, because he was actually having a bit of a problem with his connection. The question is to be a pusher. He says, if I pay 500 Rand, what's the guarantee that I'm going to make money after your course?
It's like saying, if I go to university, what's the guarantee I'll get the degree? It really comes to you if you want to put in what. Listen, I can teach you all the things that I possibly can, but I can't make you understand. So people should need to understand that it's not guaranteed. Nothing even in the higher education is guaranteed that you're going to get that degree or you're going to become a doctor or whatever. It's up to you. Where now yourself, you will be the guarantee that you get that money. But I will definitely teach you the skills and help you get to the money. if that's what you're going to do. But if you're going to go there and not do the classes and not do the tutorials that we give you and do all these things, of course you're going to fail. So there's no guarantees. Let me just put it out there.
It is so true. I can concur with that. I can actually second that because I am busy doing some other online, digital, whatever courses. They really need patience, and they really need,
they're sharp,
yeah, they're sharp. Especially if you don't know anything about internet, digital, what, they're sharper. But believe me, they will reward you one day because now they've started doing so. So guys, I just need you to bear in mind that whatever that he's saying, it is so true. You can't just want to do the course and then you want to make money. It doesn't work that way. It's just like any other job. You get the job today, you have to work 30 days before you get your salary. So it's the same as any other job. It needs patience, commitment, and dedication, all right? So there was this other last question that I saw. Okay, I think it was someone who raised their hand. Dinku? But before that, guys, please, I'm just going to give you like 30 seconds to ask your questions. We don't have time anymore. Otherwise, this thing is going to cut us out. So, Linku, just a quick one, please.
Yes, Eva, because of time, can I please push this to the next session?
No problem. We'll have a next session next week. It's not a problem. Sipo, you want to say something quickly?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, for next week's sessions, will we also get an invite for that? Because I find the information that has been passed on very informative. And I think for the large amount of us, we would need that type of assistance going forward, as we might be looking at the future of level 1 or 2. So maybe that will be very helpful for us if we can also be invited to that one as well.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight. And I really, really appreciate the fact that you made time to join us on the show. Like I said, this is not the first and the last show. We decided that we're going to bring all these important people together, and we do this every week because unemployment is a very serious issue in our country, and we can try and blame the government. But if we don't do it on our own, if we don't stand together, there is no way that we're going to conquer this. And I would like to thank all my panelists who actually made time today. BA, big ups, man. I know that you're gonna turn us into millionaires, eh? Eventually, also, you're not gonna have any clients because we are your clients, by the way. So to everybody who joined today and those ones that are actually sending their messages on Facebook and also on our platforms, we really appreciate it, guys. Listen, this show, this Good TV Africa, it wasn't gonna be possible if it wasn't because of you. So whoever's watching, even outside South Africa, we really appreciate it. Department of Labor, I hope that you're watching. Department of Arts and Culture, I hope that you're watching, and thank you for powering this show, because I said earlier on, it is powered by the Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, National, and also SALS. And thank you so much to Good TV Africa team. You guys, Lady Bo, so man. So next week, same time, same place, we are here talking unemployment. Ladies and gents, good night.
Thank you.